Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh. Do we have a good episode for you today?
Oh, I'm excited.
We got on DanTDM. Yes, we got on DanTDM, all right?
Yes!
You ready? You want to do that?
Yep. Very excited about Dan.
Okay, all right. We got on Dan, guys. We talk about everything, all right? Family life, imposter syndrome, fame, everything that I know that you want to hear about. We covered today, all right? So please, you're going to love this one. You're going to enjoy it. And please do subscribe to us if you're on the YouTube. We've not asked that before. And if you're on Spotify or any other platform, give us a follow there. We really do appreciate it.
It's weekly, man. You don't want to miss it.
Also, I'm actually going on tour. That's just been announced around America and England in May and April of next year. Jack's going to be there at some of the shows. So you want to see us doing our thing, proper like comedy, stand-up comedy, interviews. Going to be great with special guests on everyone. Head to TommyInnit.com for the TommyInnit Survival Tour. You can get yourself a ticket, and that is TommyInnit.com.
What is it?
It's TommyInnit.com, Jack. Did I know?
Oh, good.
Okay, because
wonderful.
I thought I was subtle.
No, I was struggling.
Shut up, I'm talking, shut up, I'm talking, shut up, I'm talking, shut up, I'm talking, shut up, shut up, shut up, I'm talking, shut up.
Hello.
Hello.
Good to have you here.
Good to
We've
be
got
here.
you down.
Thanks for inviting me.
Well, it's a very, very honoured to have you on. This is good, isn't it?
I'm very happy. I'm very happy about this one.
We are very happy. How have you been, man?
I've been good. Yeah, just chugging along, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we know. But maybe you've been chugging bad. because Dan, and this is a thing in our podcast, and Jack doesn't like when I do this, but we open with this segment. But when we have guests on, we ask them to do the segment.
Okay.
It's not unreasonable to explain this to Dan. I'll give you this one.
Oh, thank you.
Usually
this is the worst moment of the week, Dan. What has been your worst moment of the whole week?
The whole week. I mean, it's Wednesday, so the week has not been very long.
Don't worry, Dan.
No,
you
it
can go
starts
back
from
to the
last
previous
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay, we got it.
In a period of 7 days, what
That's
irked
right.
you the most?
More accurate. Okay, as my house is leaking, which is not ideal.
What do you mean you guess your house is leaking?
I guess that's my worst moment of the week.
What happened?
Could you
why is it
elaborate on
leaking?
that?
Well, we don't know. That's the problem. It's been a problem for like a couple years. So we're trying to find...
This doesn't sound like the worst moment of your week, Dan.
No,
That
it's
sounds like the
worse
worst moment of your last
we tried
couple
to
years.
fix it in the past 7 days. They're like, yeah, we fixed it. A few days ago, drips.
So it's not
So
fixed.
it's not
Can you,
fixed.
So you paid a liar, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
Paying a liar is
Sounds
his
like
worst
it.
moment of the week.
where is it dripping from?
That's a good question. Well, it's from like I have like in the playroom, you know, the
The famous playroom.
Explain to
Yeah.
people what the playroom is.
so we used to have like a swimming pool room in our house and we got rid of that, emptied it
Yeah.
out, and now it's like a massive soft play. Like
And do you play in there?
Yes.
But it's damp.
But no, it's not that bad. It's like dripping near the window.
Do you
But
reckon
every
it's
time it
from
rains,
the
it drips.
old pool?
No,
That
because
probably had a lot of
it's
water in
from,
it.
like the ceiling. The pool's like
Is it from the bath or above? Maybe the
I
pipes.
don't know. I'm not sure.
You want me round?
Yeah, I think you can get you around
You get
to
to the bottom of it.
investigate.
So it's just leaking.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but that is like
No, to be fair, we live in Brighton. I don't know about you, but my old apartment used to leak all the time.
I'd never leak, mate.
Did you say you'd never
No,
leak? You of all
personally,
people.
I leak real bad, Dan. But this is well, that's not Jack. That's not in front of Dan, Jack. Come on.
That's fine.
But my new house and my flat never leaks.
Oh,
It's
must
very
be nice.
You're fortunate for Brighton. Your current house, I reckon it could.
I just moved, you see, Dan.
Oh, I see.
You've
Yeah.
still got time.
There's still time.
Yeah, teething issues.
So okay, that is a pretty valid worst moment.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's not quite Jacksepticeye.
That's true. His
What
worst
was
moment.
his?
His worst moment was just bedridden anxiety, and we all went,
I
"Oh,
see.
Yeah,
that is bad, to be
That was
fair,
actually
Jack.
Quite
bad.
yeah.
So really, that should give you some perspective and clarity
Yeah, not
over
the
this whole
world's
situation.
worst moment of the week, but
That's true.
yeah, but bad." I mean, hey, I
Still
don't want
bad.
my house leaking,
exactly.
And are
and
you
I have to
getting
pay liars.
are you getting damp? Is there mold?
Not yet. No,
Not yet.
not yet. That's why I want to
years
sort it out.
now.
Yeah.
Okay. Bloody hell. Oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah,
Well-
how do we move on from that?
I don't.
Well, I'd say how we can move on, because the thing is, that is a bad moment, Dan.
Okay.
But you've had a tough, not a week because you've been away, but you had a great week. But then you had a bit of a bad I figured you would take it from here. You would know the bad. You would surely know the bad thing.
Are you mean to talk about my breakup
It's on
right
the
now?
notes here. Just here. It says, Dan, I've just been through a breakup recently. If you'd like to take it from there.
But what I didn't expect was for Jack to say that for me. But it's true, Dan. I have just been through a breakup recently.
Sorry to hear that.
Thanks, Dan. Well, Dan, I've been better. Do you have any breakup advice?
I actually don't.
Have you never had one?
Well, I've been with my wife 15 years, so
must be nice.
And this isn't to be rude. Leaking. How old are you now, Dan?
I'm 33.
So, oh wow,
18. Bloody hell! Yeah. So you really haven't had much of a breakup?
No,
not as an adult man.
Do you have any advice?
One major breakup. That was it.
Do you have any?
It was so long ago. I'm not the person to
Guess
ask.
you're on your own, Tom.
Yeah. All right, no, that's
Dan's not helping you.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. Okay,
I'll lighten the mood. No, I'll lighten the mood. I will. I've Dan. You know what? You may not be able to help us in the breakup territory. I'll just bring the mood up. You may not be able to help Tom, but you have helped many people.
Okay, I like that segue.
Because you recently.
No, is this? Oh no, keep going.
What? You want me to lighten the mood? I'll lighten it. You recently did a really cool thing. You did a big donation to Gosh. I hope I'm saying that.
Tell us about that, Dan. Let's lighten this mood.
Okay. So I've worked with Gosh for like probably close to a year now.
What's Gosh?
Gosh is Great Ormond Street Hospital. It's a children's hospital.
Yeah.
But it's for like the worst kind of cases for kids' illnesses, basically. So they have, well, long story short, I was in America and Ryan Seacrest, he has like a, I don't know, like a company or an organization where they put studios into hospitals, like radio stations.
Oh, right.
And
Okay,
then the kids can make radio and it goes around the hospital.
Oh,
so I was like,
cool.
oh, this could be cool. I wonder if we could try and do something like that over here. But with gaming, so like a gaming space or like a streaming space or something like that.
Cool.
Which obviously is really hard to like squeeze into a hospital because there's more important.
Yeah, we have
space.
less space over here than America do.
Exactly. So instead, when we went to visit, they have like these gaming carts. So they're on like it's on like a trolley.
Yeah.
So you have like the console, the screen, like everything's in the trolley, and then they wheel them to each room.
Oh, really?
They didn't have many of them, so the kids are getting like an hour or so, and then they have to it has to move on to somewhere else. So I donated enough to get 100, I think. 100
really?
ones. Yeah. And it's not an easy thing to do either, because you have to. It's not as simple as buying the stuff and then it's just made. You have to make it out of special materials.
Yeah.
All right.
Because it's being wheeled between patients with really serious
so they have to be like sterile.
Proper sterile, like, antibacterial materials. And I have to shout out Nintendo as well, because they donated 50 Switches. So got to shout out
mate, that's brilliant, man. Oh, well done. And you were actually out of the hospital on Monday.
I was on Monday, yeah. And there's going to be 100, but they've got 7 or 8 of them made so far.
Yeah.
And each kid I went to visit had one, and they just loved it. So
great.
It's like they're really like bedridden kids. Like they can't leave the room most of the time. So gaming's like one of the only things they can really do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fucking hell, man. That's brilliant, man.
Yeah, it was a cool thing to do. Yeah.
Oh man, well done.
Thank you.
And Jack, what have you done?
Well,
in terms of like good for the world.
Well, what have you done?
Donated to sarcoma.
I've donated to sarcoma as well.
Less.
You know? Well, I don't know.
A lot less.
I don't know that because you're a stingy guy.
No, not with sarcoma. It's my one spend.
It's your one big thing.
It's my one where I'll splash out.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good thing to splash out on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it speaks to your soul.
So what I'm saying is we're 3 good guys.
That's it.
Yeah,
But
I would
me
say
and Dan sort of no, definitely Dan above.
Dan probably does supersede us.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I think I've just sort of.
But then me, and then
you actually showed up. I've sort of just given money in the past.
It's all right. It's better than nothing, right?
Oh, what a positive!
You
what
just
great
want to
reframing. Man.
You just want to uplift, and I love that about you.
Oh my
God. Well, we'll get into it, Dan.
Okay.
Because this is modern day DanTDM, but I want to know DanTDM from right at the beginning.
Okay.
Well, not that far. I'm like,
Yeah.
you like look
How far
nervous. I'm talking like early days when you first got into all this stuff. Because I'm always really intrigued. Because we as I say, we had Jacksepticeye on, and this always really intrigues me.
Mm-hmm.
That like, how long have you been doing YouTube now?
It's like 12, 13 years.
It's a long
Fucking hell.
time. And it's like just at that cusp where like it wasn't really like, you know, like you ask kids now and like, what do you want to be? And they're like YouTuber because it's such a thing. And it just wasn't an established, like it wasn't a career path when you were starting. So then I'm always curious when I ask people like you, like what actually, because you're not going into this to try and make money or anything, because that wasn't an option at the time.
Yeah.
So like what made you do it?
Well, before YouTube and stuff, there was Newgrounds. You ever heard of Newgrounds?
Oh, I know Newgrounds.
What is that again?
It's basically just a site where you could share like Flash animations or games, like anything like that, like a mini YouTube basically.
Yeah, sure.
So I used to love that, to see like random games, random movies. There was stuff like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Nox's Corner. Have you heard of that?
I don't think so.
So it's like a claymation series. So it's a guy that was just making these claymations on just like a table like this. And they were really good.
Yeah,
but he was like self-taught, didn't study it at all.
Oh wow.
And then he went on to like make DVDs and stuff. And I was like, that's really cool. I'd love to be able to do that. So I started making videos from that. I made some stop motion stuff. Like I was obsessed with animation and stop motion.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Mad.
Even like South Park, you know, like the way they used to make it with the stop motion paper.
Proper stop motion. Yeah.
So I used to do a bit of that.
Oh, cool.
And then it just evolved into like, as YouTube would grow, it used to be, I mean, the stuff you used to watch on YouTube was like amateur gameplay where you couldn't, it was someone recording a TV screen rather than actually capturing
that's how I got my start.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it just kind of grew from there as YouTube and that whole online space grew. But like Newgrounds and Nox's Corner, stuff like that was really where I started to learn about the internet.
Like online sort of media.
And did you like still have a job when you were doing this?
Yeah, so I did uni, had a job, and did like YouTube as like my third thing.
What did you do at uni?
Hell, man.
I did music production at uni.
How long did you do that for? Like that trifecta? Because I did that for, I think, 3 months.
Yeah.
And was like, yeah, no, I can't hack it. And I had to like, I dropped uni and work, but that's because my uni and work were intertwined. So I
what was your job?
Both.
Sorry?
What was your job?
What was the job?
Yeah.
It was just Tesco. So like a weekend Tesco job, yeah.
Okay. Still though, that is it's not about like, it's a good amount to take off. Like,
I mean, to be fair, I was pretty lazy at uni, so I'd like get by on the bare minimum and be done.
Okay,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
It's adding up now. I understand.
So yeah, it was kind of tough, but
Yeah. So you're doing that and you sort of at uni and you're at Tesco. Did you know, because we see you now, you fucking DanTDM, like, what? And even for me, when I was in year 4, you were fucking DanTDM.
Yeah, you've been DanTDM for a while.
So
like,
crazy.
Did you have other inspirations in the space? Like, and where did that sort of start?
I think
like
PewDiePie was probably my biggest inspiration. He was like
really?
Always top of his game, like the first that did the gaming stuff. Like,
yeah.
I feel like we've met a few times, but I feel like we are fairly similar in mindset and the way we create and stuff. So
really,
he was probably my biggest inspiration for sure.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I think he was the first person to publicly be like, "Yeah, this is my job now," because it grew so big.
Right.
And I was really inspired by the way it was just him. Like it was him.
Was it literally just PewDiePie?
Yeah, like him, maybe an editor as well, and then he just grew it to be the biggest thing on YouTube for a long time.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's interesting that like, because I think possibly gone are the days that one guy can dominate a space like that. I don't know. Maybe you disagree with me.
Yeah.
I just can't picture it anymore. You know when you see like the conglomerate that is Mr. Beast.
Yeah, it depends how. I guess it depends how big you want it to be. Like if you want it to
that's
be
what I'm
huge
saying.
and you want it to be a job,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like to be like PewDiePie and be the biggest thing on the platform, and then also just to be one fella.
Yeah,
just seems like such a foreign concept now.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think maybe that's people's view of YouTube. They're like, oh, to be massive, you have to be.
Yeah, it's definitely
Mr. Beast.
The perception.
Sure.
Or have it set up like a massive corporation, which.
So you were
necessarily agree with
watching PewDiePie and making these animations, and how did that sort of like transition into, you know, quite simply, when did you become famous? Was there like a moment where it was like, shit?
So before I did the Minecraft stuff, I did the Pokemon card stuff. So I had a channel which was all about Pokemon cards.
Really?
Yeah, I remember this.
So that you can collect the cards, but you can also play the game.
Yeah,
and I used to play that at the weekends, or I used to travel quite a lot for it as well to do tournaments and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you were decent at it, right?
Well, I was okay. But there wasn't a lot of people that played at that.
Right, okay.
Sure.
But I was decent
humble.
enough.
Ever humble.
I still play now. It's like, it's always been part of my life.
Oh, wow.
But, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, I made the channel for it where I'd have like a weekly show where I would go over certain decks or like what's doing well, certain tournaments, and then I managed.
What's doing well? What were they like metas?
Yeah, exactly. Different
Really?
metas,
Oh,
Yeah.
And then I managed to get a sponsor for that from like a card shop, an online card shop.
Right.
So the hobby then funded itself. So I'm still earning like nothing off YouTube. I don't think I earned anything from that channel from YouTube, but from sponsor, I managed to fund travel and purchasing cards just from that.
Cool.
So how long were you doing it and not earning anything?
But not including sponsors. Probably I did a couple years at least.
Wow, that's
For
mass.
the Pokemon channel, and then probably a year or so for the Minecraft stuff.
So tell us about the Minecraft, because that must have been.
Yeah.
You were there at the beginning, right?
This is the thing that gets me. Like,
Almost.
nowhere in any of this have you mentioned any Minecraft. And I was
That's
like,
mad.
hang
the
on.
transition happened where I would do on the Pokemon channel. I started recording gameplay for the Pokemon games. So there's an old Game Boy game that's the Pokemon card, Pokemon TCG.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so I recorded that, and then Pokemon Stadium, and in that process learned how to capture gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
How were you doing that back then? Because I don't think OBS was a thing, right?
No, it wasn't OBS. I was doing it through emulation because it was an N64 game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was probably, I want to say Fraps.
Yeah.
Fraps.
That
I
sounds
remember that with the
OG,
shit
yeah.
little watermark on everything. yeah.
Yeah, and you always had that little yellow frame rate on the top
Yeah,
right.
I remember that.
yeah.
So you press record, the frame rate turns red, and then it goes down to like 25% of what,
Oh,
of what your
just
actual
kills
frames
it.
were.
Yeah.
It's terrible
yeah.
software.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it was Fraps.
So you
Like,
getting
my
on-
old Pokemon videos I used to make in PowerPoint.
What?
It was
Fuck
kind
off.
of like
Really?
a PowerPoint presentation, then I'd narrate over the top. And you could like save,
Wow.
if you
What?
timed everything correctly, you could save a PowerPoint as a video.
What do you mean if you
Hang on,
timed
what, are
everything
you gonna
correctly?
have to? Can you? You are.
Yeah, so you can, so if you press like your trigger for the slide in PowerPoint,
Yeah.
you can have like things appear after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So I'd plan all that out, save the whole thing as a video, and then do my commentary over the top.
Oh, wow. Oh, so you're literally like
Literally presenting, yeah.
Oh, I'm
it's like you're
thinking
doing like a
I
weird
thought you were
pre-editing.
taking like 24 frames of Minecraft a second and then flicking
Oh,
through
not
the
Minecraft,
slides
the
really
Pokemon
quick.
stuff. No.
It's like stop
No, this
motion.
was Pokemon. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure loads of viewers as well thought that.
No, to be fair, can you imagine like the classic mod reviews, but instead of being like in-game footage, it's just like PowerPoint presentations of the different things. Like, and here's this item.
All right, so you're doing your PowerPoint videos, and then not to disrespect that, and I'm sure that meta's going to come back around anytime soon.
Never
It's
know,
only
I
a
might
matter of
try
time.
It's not long now.
All right, and then
You discover Fraps.
you discover Fraps.
Discovered
And where
Fraps.
does Minecraft come into the picture? Because
So
I
my-
mean, both of us grew up watching you play Minecraft. I'm
Yeah,
sure
so
most
my
people
brother
listening did.
introduced me to Minecraft. He used to have it
Right.
on the Xbox 360, I think. He showed me this like,
Okay.
underground
Oh, yeah.
cave, man. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. So that day, I went back to my PC, bought it for like, what was it then, like a tenner?
Tanner.
Yeah, maybe a tenner at most.
And that's the account I still use now. So like,
Really?
DanTDM.
good, well spent tenner, I think.
Did a decent
Yeah.
job there.
Because
Yeah.
it's 15 quid now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I
about
think so,
15,
yeah.
16
Fucking
pound now.
inflation. Anyway, but go on, Dan.
So then I was a massive fan of the Yogscast as well.
Oh,
yeah.
And
Lovely people.
I learned how to play Minecraft through, I think it's Paul Soares Jr. had like a
yeah.
surviving the first night video.
Because I had the Minecraft guidebook and he was in that.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I bought that at school when the books came.
You've gone too deep now. You've gone too niche.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm out of the
No,
loop.
loads of people have the Minecraft book.
Yeah.
It's not
So
just me.
before the Minecraft books are out, it was just YouTube. That's how you learn how to play Minecraft.
Yeah.
And I feel like even now, the learning curve for Minecraft is pretty steep.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah,
Are
like,
you
I
having to
don't-
teach the kids?
Yeah,
having
it's
to
really
teach,
hard.
Like I said, sure.
It is really hard to explain to them, like, oh, you have to do this, then this, and this. It's like, I'm surprised kids even play it, to be honest. Like, the survival mode is actually quite a steep learning curve.
Yeah, I've never finished it. So that sounds about right.
Impressive.
What do you mean?
What do you mean impressive?
But
I've never beat Minecraft.
Twat.
I get about like a few hours in to a world, and then I think, oh, I'd love to start again. I just never care for it enough to like
The whole, like,
really
2 week-
grind.
is it the
But I
2 week
imagine
grind?
our generation, would have been better at Minecraft than these. Not, I'm sure your kids are smart, but like the. Do you know what I mean?
Why? What do you think of the current generation? Are you getting old?
No, I'm
What's
just
this moment you're having?
They're just, they're not going to pick up survival as quick, are they?
Why?
Because they're... No, I'm sure not Asher.
Well,
No.
they're like, you saying their attention span is not.
Yeah, they won't
There.
have the time to craft.
Well, I don't know if you've ever met me, but I got on just fine. I've got no.
You haven't beat
attention
the game.
You just said you do a world.
Yeah, but here I am, perfectly well-made career, right? All right, so I did something. I got something else out of it.
So you get Minecraft.
Yeah.
You're playing this,
Yeah.
and now, how did it get to?
I was just like, I think with the Yogscast stuff, I then made videos with my brother.
Oh yeah,
And then had it as like a side channel to the Pokemon channel. And we were kind of doing a similar thing to like what the Yogscast
DanTDM
did.
second channel. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
Okay.
even on the Pokemon channel, I think I'd put like highlights from the Minecraft channel, just kind of send people over there.
Based. Okay.
Okay,
So it was more like, I think I love making videos anyway.
Yeah.
sure.
Let's give this a go.
Let's just try. You found the game. I'm already making videos. Let's just make
it
videos
was
on the
like
game.
the perfect game for me as well. Like I feel like
It's sick,
Minecraft
innit?
is the perfect game. Yeah,
Yeah.
for me anyway.
Hear that, Tetris? DanTDM thinks you're wank. That's not an official statement.
Yeah,
from
he
them.
didn't say that
No, he
himself.
didn't say that himself.
Don't
No,
put that in
don't-
like a
don't.
news article.
Yeah. But yeah, so how did you become a famous YouTuber?
I think
Yeah, how long did it take?
so. From there, it literally took a year to make it from
That's not
zero.
bad though.
Yeah, it's pretty good going.
That's decent. That
Yeah.
you've done a good job.
It was in my last year of uni as well.
Right.
So I was doing uni, the job, and that. And then within the year, I think I hit 1 million subscribers in a year.
1 million.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Really?
Yeah, that summer was just like ridiculous.
That's
So what?
quick.
So hang on. All right. So what videos was it? The mod videos? Just
the mod
started?
videos. Yeah,
Oh,
there was
the mod videos.
I don't know
Don't
if you
get
watched
me
the
started on
YouTuber
them.
house videos. Did you watch those?
Oh my
that I
god.
made?
What were they?
I-
Jack, please tell me.
I
sounds
know
like
these
you
as
know.
well. Well, but this is the thing. So this is where I've got to be a bit cringe.
Okay.
When I got my start on
That's
YouTube, I think the third video I ever made was me. I had built a bunch of. I didn't actually make them houses because the skill you had was essentially what you did. Where you take a YouTuber's skin,
Yeah.
right, and make it big
Oh wow.
in
All
Minecraft.
right.
But inside it was a house. I used to
That like
find
told the story of the YouTuber. There was
Okay.
like stuff of the YouTubers inside.
So what YouTubers' houses were you doing?
It was like the one that really popped off was the Sky Does Minecraft one, which is
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
an interesting point now. But
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
he commented on my video
Nice.
saying it
Nice
was cool,
house of me.
and then that would like.
Because
back in
was
day,
he
you
the
had, like,
biggest
a-
at the time? I
Yeah,
remember
he was
watching him.
huge,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But back in the day, you had like a feed. It wasn't just a sub feed, but like an activity feed. So if you
Right.
commented on something, like Sky's subscribers would then
Would
be
see the
notified
content.
of that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So it just sent
Bring that
so
back.
much,
That's sick.
so much traffic.
So
Wow.
video.
Scott, he commented on your video
Yeah.
about his house where you go inside him, and then which is what happened.
Yeah.
And then what?
Maybe just it's all right.
What?
No. It's fine.
No.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not even gonna say pause. So it's all right.
So you go in the house, and
Yeah.
then you make these, and then it's the mod.
Yeah.
What? Why?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just carry on.
What did I do?
You didn't do
Did
anything.
my fly down or something?
No, it's fine.
So sorry about my co-host, Dan. he's very unprofessional. So you're making these houses,
Yeah.
and then you start making the mods,
Yeah.
and then you have 1 million subscribers. And here's a few questions then.
Okay.
Did you have your camera on? Had your face revealed?
I
And-
didn't know.
Okay, so was there sort of a moment where you did and then you start getting recognised, and that's
Yeah, I think.
because for me, I remember coming out of COVID, going in
that's
with no one,
really
coming out
different,
with 4 million subscribers, or no, 1 million, and then
Yeah.
quickly, and then suddenly I'm walking to college and like 5 people are coming up to me, like
Yeah, that's mental.
overnight.
Yeah.
Right? Did you have that?
Not as like instant as that, because I think your situation's very unique, like
wow.
with the COVID stuff.
Yeah, it was odd.
But I mean, and you had that when you went to school as well. I think I didn't
Yeah.
have that. So
Yeah, I
can imagine
narrowly
coming out of
avoided
that.
school.
into a school scenario is like, I
Yeah,
don't know. how you
School
deal with
sounds
that.
terrible.
Yeah.
I really do think like I'm so fortunate.
Oh yeah, when my
'Cause
school
I-
found out I had 100K, that was
Yeah, I think I
that's
avoided
pretty
school
mental.
by like a month. I think like just before like everything started kicking off,
yeah.
COVID had kicked me out of school, so I was like
That's
fine,
mad,
and
yeah.
I never went back because obviously I was in my last year of school when I started.
Yeah.
So every day I pray, Thank you. Seriously. It just sounds the worst experience, like the worst way that could happen.
It wasn't so bad. Just suddenly, like, everyone starts leaving you alone a bit more, but also making fun of you. But also, it was a bit odd.
This sounds terrible.
Yeah, that doesn't sound...
It was fine for me because, you know, I wasn't exactly the top of the social. I climbed up a ladder. I didn't go down.
Okay. Tom has a real obsession with the social ladder of school.
It's true. And I went up.
That's all right.
Thanks, Dan.
Positive.
But then at college, the ladder unfortunately evaporates.
Does it? I never went college.
College was easy because everyone's nice. But that was odd when everyone found it at college. But we're not on about me. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, where were we? What's the question?
You've got 1 million subscribers, and then does it keep going and you getting recognized?
There was another shout out as well. I Has Cupquake. Do you remember?
Oh, I used to love Cupquake's videos.
So she did like I think it was like a weekly or bi-weekly thing where she would shout out certain people that she just liked the videos of. So she gave me a shout out as well. So
no one would ever do that now.
I don't think so. No. So I have to give my props to her. But from those 2 shout outs, the traffic just went crazy.
Yeah.
And also, there was a website called Skydaz, I think, where they would bring out, that was like the place to get your Minecraft mods. It was either Minecraft Forum or this website called Skydaz.
And so were you just sat scrolling there? Like
pretty much, yes. Yeah. So every day, like the amount of content that was coming out was just like ridiculous.
Really?
So
it was such an ecosystem for mods back then.
Yeah, like huge. And then...
And they were quite new too. Because I remember being like, Dad, could you install a mod? And he must have tried for like an hour and he just couldn't. Because that's so fucking difficult.
It's really difficult.
It's like really hard.
Yeah. Which I think is why the videos did well, because you could...
Yeah, well, I remember being like, how
it made them accessible to people that had no idea. Because I know for me, the reason that I used to love mod reviews, all I ever used to watch is like what got me into YouTube at all.
Yeah,
was watching Minecraft mod reviews. And it was simply because I had it on console where you couldn't mod it.
Oh,
or you probably could if you really, really tried, but you know. And seeing all these people like doing all this stuff, I was like living vicariously through these videos. I was like, I really want to do this, you know, like the portal gun mod and all that.
But if you were the first person to make a video on like a mod that would then be really popular, your views would just be massive, and you get featured on like the Skydaz page or the Minecraft forum page. Like if you got that,
was that a thing back then, the Minecraft forum? Like,
massive.
Fucking hell,
that was like the place to be.
I remember the Minecraft forum.
If there was a popular mod, like off the top of my head, like the mutant zombies, mutant creepers.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, so if you were the first person to get on a video,
first for them.
Probably pretty close, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you'd have to check every day, see if there's a new mod out. And if that mod then got really popular, or you were the first to make a video on it, and then loads of people made a video on it, then your video would just do best.
Was the strat just like looking through and being like, I think this has legs?
Yeah,
like just trying to guess what was going to blow up?
Yeah, before all like the story stuff came into it, then like you're just whoever was first.
Wow. Shit, man. Okay, so we have a lot more questions later on about the specifics of the mod videos and how you came up with Dr. Treoris as fans.
Yeah.
But like in the real life now of you this is all happening. Do you, at least for us, like I started getting doxxed, people showing up at my house.
Right,
Was that, how was that? Because Jacksepticeye, when we asked him, it was like, yeah, I had people knocking at my door every day.
Yeah,
me
too.
And he was like overly kind to them. This is what we learned about him. He would like open the door and be like, hello, everyone.
You slamming
it's
it?
kind of a hard balance because they're kids as well most of the time.
Sure. Yeah.
So
okay. That is different.
I had some crazy examples where parents, I don't even know how they found out my address, because in my local area where I used to live, it was pretty common knowledge, and then it just kind of spread from there.
Yeah.
It was never posted online or anything.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But then someone drove like 100 miles, drove their kids to my door.
Really?
And thought it was okay.
And were you waking up like in your pajamas? Like,
no, because we had like windows that you could see the front, so you knew if someone was who was at the door.
Man.
But it was funny because I had like a long path to my front door, and the mum was sat in her car, but she'd sent just the kids up to the front door. I was like, well,
yeah, that's mad.
I can't really say anything now, can I?
But you can't like kick off at them. It's like
exactly. Yeah, it's not
their fault.
Yeah.
So what did you do? Did you get like a photo with them, or?
I did it was either a photo or a signature with them, but I did say, can I talk to your mum? Which I'm like really, I don't engage in conflict like at all.
Yeah.
So it was a really awkward conversation.
What did you
to
go
be like,
hi, you're right.
I was like, yeah, this is just not okay. Like, what are you doing?
Fucking hell. What did she say?
She didn't really say much because she got what she wanted. Like the kids
yeah,
had
that's
a picture.
the problem. Like, you're in this difficult predicament where like you take the picture with the kid because it's not their fault.
Yeah.
But by doing that, the parents will
you're like enabling it.
Yeah, like I got what I wanted.
Shit, man.
Kick off at me all you want. I'm leaving.
And like, yeah, in my experience, it's just way easier to just like do it.
So then did you have to move to your stupid leaky house?
I did move to my stupid leaky house. Yeah, I literally had to move because then it got to the point where like the wrong people would find out where you live. So people would set off fireworks outside my house.
What?
Post things through my mailbox.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I'd be a bit like,
This happened to
Mate,
you. I don't know why you.
No, but
shocked as if this didn't
I'm not being
happen to
funny.
him.
All they did to me was send me a couple curries, and then my mum put up
They sent a few letters.
They sent some dodgy letters, but I didn't even read none of them. My mum did.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they said. My mum was like, "You're not reading this." I went, "All right." And then an ice cream showed up, and then my mum got it. But like that sounds.
Your mum didn't get it. Tell that story properly.
No, all that
I'm
happened
forcing
was,
you to tell
all
this
that
story
happened
properly.
was, they sent me some ice creams, but I thought they'd been poisoned.
Okay.
Because I was, let's be honest, I was a little anxious at the time.
Yeah.
So then I said, "Mum, will you taste test it?" And she did. And then and then
Give his mum the poison ice cream.
That's crazy. Then, she just had both of them.
oh, I love how you try and skirt around that every time. Like you didn't go, this might be poisoned. Mum, you've got a test.
I
Right.
didn't tell her it'd be poison. She went, "No, it's not."
Well, I mean,
There's only one way to
you
find
gave
out.
a warning.
But they gave them as free, so that was nice of the man.
Okay, that's fair.
Anyway, your situation sounds a bit worse than mine.
Fireworks,
yeah, well,
sound
like I
shit.
didn't have a gate or anything. It was like just
Were you freaking out? I'd be freaking out.
I don't know. I was kind of focused on making videos. I didn't really think about it.
Nothing stops the grind.
Right, this is bad, but that's a mutant zombie.
Yeah.
I need to boot up before someone else does.
Guys, the dubstep mod isn't going to wait.
Is it going to record itself? Okay.
But I did have like pretty big windows at the front of my house. So I was like, I didn't walk in front of them that often because I was like, oh, you never know who's going to be standing outside your house.
Yeah, no, that's shit. Like,
Were,
that
were
sort
you
of to
going
be
on
restricted
walks
in your
much,
own
or were you
house.
pretty in your house for a bit?
I stayed in my house for a lot of like that initial 4 or 5 years.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
a long time, Dan.
Like 2 videos a day, editing them myself.
What-
Like you don't have time to do
And,
anything.
and this leads me on to, see, and I know this because we have the same manager. You went on tour
I did.
to, I think it was 250,000 tickets you sold,
Yeah.
and you were posting 2 videos a day.
Yeah.
And how are you like not dead? Like,
I don't know. I literally don't know how I did it. Even just making 2 videos a day now, I'm just like, I don't
how how do you do that?
It was hard, but I did it. It was more of a case of like, I would go to like the YouTube spaces. This is how I did it. I went to the YouTube spaces.
What's
They
that?
had one.
Yeah, the YouTube spaces.
Okay,
We've
so
been cut
it's
off
like-
from the YouTube spaces.
Okay.
We've not been told
I'm
about
pretty
these.
sure they still exist, but they're like studios that YouTube owns. So you can go there and you can, depending on how many subscribers you have, you can rent out rooms and stuff. Did you not know this?
What was the cut-off? 25 mil? Because they've not let us in.
No, it's way low, or it used to be way lower than that.
I don't think they have them anymore. I
Really?
I was
The
speaking
King's
to-
Cross one is, yeah.
No,
it's-
because they have the Google building, but they don't have the space anymore, do they?
the space is there, but I just don't know if they're like slowly winding it down. But you used to be able to like rent out like Red cameras and stuff.
Reds?
Yeah, for free. Yeah,
For free?
yeah.
Just for context
you just-
to any viewers here, Red cameras are like 20 grand.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
they used to be
insane,
like 20
yeah.
grand a piece.
So you're okay.
What would you even... What? And you
So-
were Red. What were you
Were
doing
you
with
using the
Red
Red
camera?
camera?
Making a
The
Minecraft
funny
video?
thing is, I had all my stuff with me, so I didn't need it. I just needed a soundproofed room. So I
Right.
just went in that soundproof room for like, as long as I was allowed to use it for. And they only have them in New York, London, where else? LA as well. So if I was
Right.
near those locations, I would go in there for a day, record like 20 videos in a row.
What? What?
Yeah.
How are you getting the ideas for 20 videos?
I don't know. They're just either, I mean,
Would you finish one and then go, "What's my next idea?" Or would you make a list
yeah,
at the
it's like
beginning?
the YouTube space was different though, wasn't it? Like I feel like now there's way more effort that goes into one video.
Sure.
Whereas back in the day, I was maybe doing like a 2-hour recording, cut it down, done.
And you were editing it all yourself.
Yeah. So I take all those files, whack them onto my laptop, and then just edit them on the bus or in the hotel room. I'd record in hotel rooms as well.
Yeah. I
And
did
so-
a little
and
bit of
then-
that, but...
And
Yeah,
then
if
in
you
the
go
night,
once.
you're playing to thousands of people.
Yeah.
And how long did you tour for?
It was like 2 years total.
2
Not like
years?
consistently. It was like there was gaps in between.
And were you,
So-
was every night a couple thousand people venue?
Yeah.
What sort of stints were you hitting? Because obviously you're on tour for 2 years, but like what sort of like would you go for like...
The longest
We did a
one was
2-month stint, is what we're.
Yeah, our
Yeah, so
biggest
I
stint was
did
like 2 months.
almost 2 months in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we beat you. Oh, twice.
Yeah. So I did twice.
Yeah, twice you
The
did
gap
beat
in
us.
between.
And also 2 years of not... I don't know
Also,
about
it's
you.
double upload it. Yeah, he didn't beat you.
Yeah, we lost.
It's all right to try, though, isn't it?
But
Yeah.
mine was kind of like the tour just almost was never ending. Like we started with 4 dates. I think the first one was here in Brighton. So I think you did your first show at Brighton Dome, right?
Yeah, was it?
So
Brighton
that
Dome?
was mine. Yeah, that was my first one
we
as
got
well.
the same first venue.
Yeah,
we lost our venue virginity together. I wish I didn't say venue virginity. As
Well,
it was coming
Dan
out
was
my mouth.
actually there when you lost your
You helped me
virginity.
lose mine.
there,
You were
yeah.
part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I was there
We all
too.
lost our venue virginity in the Brighton
did.
Dome.
We
Thank
did.
you, Brighton Dome.
So that's it. Yeah, there we go.
No, okay.
So it started off 4 shows, and then they sold out super quick, and then it kept going and going and going. So we
You
did
just
the
kept
UK,
adding
yeah.
dates.
Did the UK, then the US, and the second US leg, then Australia, then we went back to Australia again.
Christ, fucking hell!
Yeah, it was really cool.
And you would just
What did the show consist of?
So I describe it as like a kind of like a panto vibe, like pantomime
Right.
kind of.
because that's what ours was a bit like.
Yeah,
A little bit.
So I had the characters, but there'd be me, another actress. So there's 2 like human characters,
Right.
And then the rest was all talking to a screen,
Okay.
Sure.
which were the characters like
Troyorus and
yeah,
Grim and shit.
Yeah, so there was.
Don't test me. Don't test me. I'll trust me. I'll name them all.
He knows.
You said that and shit on the end to try and sound a bit.
And shit,
try and
like-
redeem a little bit of.
I don't know them all.
just like Grim and like.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like the story was like there was an evil Dan character who Troyorus had accidentally created.
Yeah.
He stole my pugs. You know them too, right? Yeah.
Look at you.
Familiar, Dan.
He knows.
Fuck.
And then we had to play games to get to like the final boss, where I would let him fight him.
What was Evil Dan called?
Evil Dan.
Evil Dan, man.
Sorry, I'm assuming, mate.
We wouldn't. What? Oh,
I
that
didn't
pissed
know,
me
maybe
off.
like Craig or like
Why would you call him crazy?
like Nad backwards Dan.
All right, Nad would be good.
See, if you had me there, Dan, would have been a whole different. Would have been a lot more singing dogs.
A lot
I'll tell
more
you that.
Nads.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot more Nads.
We had the dogs were doing stand up. That maybe.
If the dogs,
You'd
I
be
tell
proud
you
of
what,
that.
you gave me some great advice before I went on my first tour and the first show. Actually,
What was it?
you said to me, "What? You was probably
Really
you were
listening to me, you can tell.
Like every time I go on stage, you were like, "All right, so you're going to go out. There's going to be thousands of people.
Mm.
It's going to freak you out. So just when you
Yeah.
go out, just prepare to take like 10 seconds to just like freak out in your head,
Yeah.
and then do the show." So whenever I went out on
Did you do
stage,
that?
yeah, I'd just stand for
Nice.
like 10 seconds, and they'd all go like that, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, what Dan said," and then I
Because
go,
as well, you can't really practice for that. Like we did a second tour that wasn't as long, but we did arenas, which is like 10,000.
Yeah, that's
"Fucking
mad.
hell, what's doing an arena like, man?"
That's like another level. Like
Yeah.
I'd say I probably prefer the smaller venues just because you can like see everyone and it's a bit more.
What a
I don't know what's
statement
the
to
word.
say. I prefer not doing arenas. That,
But I think anyone that does arenas would prefer to do like a 500 person show because it's more intimate. I think
I prefer
Like,
to do arenas, but I'll get there.
but yeah, you can't prepare yourself for even like a couple of thousand people just being
it's
there.
mad.
You
It's
can
just mad.
prepare the show as much as you like, but when we did the arenas, when I went on stage, it was so loud and like there was just
Did you have
Yeah.
in-ears?
no.
Yeah, that's mental.
So for viewers, like whenever we're on stage, we have these things that go all the way deep in your ear, and then you sort of control all the audio levels.
Yeah.
So you
Did you
don't-
have people like talking to you as well?
Yeah, we
If needed.
So I
If
did
needed.
not.
Yeah.
I just couldn't handle that. Like,
because did
someone
you
saying
have
stuff
you had
maybe.
one where the screen went out, didn't you?
We had a few interesting ones. We had the
Tell-
screen
what-
went out, so we had no backup for our computer, which was stupid. So we had,
You just got a
so
little
we had one
Dell
where-
laptop running
yeah,
an
literally like a
arena.
little Mac, like running the whole show.
Serious?
Yeah, that's
Oh
mad.
my days, man.
That is a mad idea.
That
you
broke
know.
once, and then we had to stop the show, and I freaked out because I'm like a perfectionist. I like wanted everything to go like super smooth, perfect. And then
So
that
how-
happened, we had
so
to
what-
do a show.
What was that like? What, like, if you don't mind me asking, being on stage, because we had one show where one of my ears went out,
Okay.
and I was just kind of like, we sort of knew the script at that point, so I sort of roughly knew
Yeah,
what
we
were saying.
did. I don't think even I couldn't tell for
But-
a while.
Yeah, there was a bit where we had like 2 minutes off stage, and I was like, "Please fix my ear," and they didn't.
Yeah.
And it like just that was enough to
Yeah,
send me
it's-
into shreds
yeah.
of panic.
That wasn't the worst experience for a show. We had one in America where there was a lightning storm.
What?
Actually, there's two. Okay, I've got two stories. So there was a
Please.
lightning
Christ
storm.
alive, man.
And then
Lightning storm.
That's 2
we
years
had
of touring,
power,
though,
we
innit?
had power surges. So the lightning struck the building.
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah,
Okay, and
so
then
we had
what?
power surges. So we had to stop the show twice. Because
What do you mean power surges?
So,
So-
like, because
No, you go on.
so you
Evil
have,
Dan
like-
got really strong because
well, no, it's just a power cut basically.
Oh,
so
okay,
like
right.
the power will surge, just your computers and stuff are all scrambled. So you have to reset
Yeah.
everything. We had to do that twice. But the craziest one is there was a fire at one of ours.
Yeah,
in
that's
one of our
mad.
shows.
What happened?
So someone spilled a drink on a light in the floor. So this wasn't our fault whatsoever. So someone spilled a drink on a light, and that caught fire to a chair and to a kid's t-shirt.
Wait, a kid? Wait, a child? Wait.
I got set on fire.
You said a kid's t-shirt. Now, do you mean there was a t-shirt, or was the kid
they
wearing
were wearing it because I met them afterwards, and there was like a burn mark up.
So wait, a kid got set on fire at your show?
Yeah, but it wasn't our fault.
No, I'm sure it wasn't your fault. But fuck you.
Okay, I know you got set on fire, but do you want to go meet DanTDM? What were you? Were you just like, I'm sorry?
Well, we were on the stage. We
Sorry,
had
you got set on
it
fire,
wasn't
man.
like it wasn't like I don't think it was a massive fire because from the stage we couldn't.
Yeah, get over it, kid. Get over it, kid. It was only a small fire.
So from the stage we couldn't see it, but we could see people moving to the back, and we were like, I was looking.
No one wanted to leave the DanTDM game, of course.
I was looking at my
Like Evil Dan's got the pugs.
But I was looking at the person who's on stage with me, and I was like, what is happening? And then the person at the side of the stage, like the stage manager, was like mouthing words, but I couldn't figure out what she was saying.
Yeah.
So she came onto stage a bit further and said like fire, and just told us to come to the side of the stage. Because obviously we don't want to say fire because everyone's going to freak out.
Yeah, of course.
So
Just
we
want
just
that
left
one
the
little
stage,
kid to-
and then they evacuated everything. And then I went straight onto my bus, and I was looking at the tweets, and everyone was like, "What's going on? What's going on? You owe us an apology." It was like because the whole thing had just been
Yeah, they
kicked
don't
out.
get given an explanation.
Yeah, no
right?
explanation. So then, yeah, that was a whole thing. And then afterwards, I met them after the show, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's actually got like a burn mark up his."
Did you give him like
t-shirt."
some free shirts?
Yeah. Well, what's funny is there was the kid that had obviously
Funny.
set on fire.
Hang on.
What? Okay.
But
Let
then
me
there
ask
was like
you.
a
I'm in your shoes. There's just been a kid set on fire at your show. What
Yeah.
did you say? How do you give him a shirt?
Well, they were just happy to like meet me afterwards, I think. So, but there was also a string of like 20 other kids whose parents were like, "Oh yeah, we've been really affected by this. Can we meet him afterwards?" So there was like actually the kid who'd like the main, I don't know what's
Victim.
the word.
Victim, I
victim.
think.
I didn't want to
Victim,
say
the word
victim, but and then there was like a string of 15 others that were then like, "Yeah, we need to meet him after this."
Yeah, I also saw the fire.
Yeah.
It was really hard.
So yeah, that's the craziest show.
That
we've
is
done.
that. Wow.
Pretty wild story.
Yeah,
Well
we had
done.
nothing like that.
I'm going on tour again.
Yeah, prepare for some.
I hope that doesn't happen.
I hope it doesn't happen because I'm going with you.
Yeah, you're at loads of the dates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm at all of them ish. I'm not on stage for all of them though. I'll just be.
Don't say. God forbid we spoil the special guests, Jack.
Well, I don't know who they are. I'm not involved
Okay.
like that.
Fucking hell.
So don't worry. I won't.
Yeah, two years of touring, you'll have some stories for sure.
Yeah, I'm doing 2.5 months now, and it's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
bit of stand up and then
Yeah.
interviewing. But I think there's more room to pause if someone gets set on fire than there was before.
Well, yeah, I think it's a
Before
lot more
there was-
free flowing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's yeah.
You could write a joke about it.
If someone got set on fire, I'd go, ooh, and then I'd riff. I'd go,
Do a bit of crowd work.
I'd do a bit of crowd work. I'd go, how you doing? They go, and I go, ooh, someone doesn't want to be here. That's just a draft. Too. There's not the final one. Still
That's
working
even
on it.
finished product.
But what I'll do is after this I'll write down some like plans for if
If anyone gets set on fire.
like some riffs.
Because we didn't really have anything like that. We had one show that had a bit of a. We can talk about this now, or can we not?
Which one?
The one that we had water leak through the ceiling.
Did we?
Yeah, we had. Do you remember this? We almost had to cancel the show. We were very lucky that we didn't, so no one ever found out. But we almost had to cancel one show because water leaked through the ceiling. It rained.
Yeah.
And this venue had a leak in their roof. You'll relate. And they basically assured us that it was fixed.
Okay.
And then we also, a lot of our show was just like talking to a big video wall.
Yeah.
No, whoa. Not a lot of my show was talking to a big video wall.
It was a lot of the show.
No,
was
it wasn't. The dark internet, no affiliation with Evil Dan, did show up, but a little bit of it was talking to a wall.
There's a video wall.
Okay.
And
Just YouTubers love talking to their walls, right?
yeah, the video wall was erected and water starts dripping. It drips directly onto the video wall.
Right.
So we're like, well, one, they've lied to us. It definitely isn't fixed, the ceiling. And secondly, like, kind of try and avoid what happened at your show, we don't really want to turn it on now in case it sets on fire. Because it wasn't a weatherproof one, it was like a perfectly indoors one.
Set a lad on fire. Sorry, I can't.
So what did you do?
Well,
we like do it without the screen, weren't we?
We were going to try and do it without the screen. We did the Q&A without the screen.
Yeah, on a little laptop doing a Q&A. Going through the questions, yeah.
But then we...
can't even remember what show that was, can you?
Yes, but I seem to remember we were told we shouldn't say. Because the venue might
Oh, yeah, sure.
upset with us.
Yeah, all right.
So I won't say.
And there was... Unless you got more to say on that, the only other mad story I had was on the last night of my show. It ended with me doing this big note where I go, ah.
Oh my God, yeah, I forgot about this.
This is mad. On the ceiling, a fucking massive spider fell down and nearly landed on my face. Like, it must have been here. From the ceiling, nearly landed. Was it like a tarantula? Because
I didn't see it. It was, because all I saw was our big security friend.
Yeah, stamp on it.
No, shit, like fucking, like, as if you were getting attacked. Like,
yeah, like
because I guess he took every threat equally as seriously.
Spider or
he like just like jolted, and I went, "Oh shit!" Like I'm like, "Damn,
Tom's in danger
someone's
on the last
it.
minute of the last show."
And then he ran out and stamped this spider, and I was like, "Oh!" And I was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "What happened?"
Again, we don't condone stamping spiders, but if it falls on my face, nearly.
Well, it's his job to protect you. So
yeah, it's his job.
He was only doing his job.
Yeah, but nearly. There is a world where I was doing my last big note and a spider landed on my face, and I went, it would have been like,
in your mouth.
It properly, like, because I had my mouth like all the way open.
I don't know how big this. I don't know if it would have fit.
It was big because everyone saw it fall. It has to be pretty fucking big to spot it.
Surely.
Yeah, that was. But, I think Freddie saw it.
Security people, they have eyes of eagles.
That was terrible. And then I came off stage like that, and everyone was staring at me, and I was like, "What happened?" And they went, "A spider nearly fell in your gob." I said, "You what? It's not quite a point being set on fire." They
shouldn't have told us before, because we have to go back out and do the whole bye-bye everyone. And I lead that charge in the show to go back out and speak to everyone. I'm fucking shit scared of spiders. Okay. So I'm like, really? I'm like,
because I think I knew at that point.
I didn't know at that point whether it had been killed. I knew it had dropped, but I didn't know whether it had been disposed of. And I thought,
you were freaking out.
I was a little bit like, if a spider comes near my leg, I will freak the fuck out. I hate them. I really do get freaked out.
Wow.
Torian's wild.
Torian's wild. And I'm going back out. So TommyInnit.com in March and April. April and May, actually.
TommyInnit.com, by the way. You said that so quickly. You just said Tommy.
I just don't like self-promoting. I feel like a knobhead.
It's all right. Hey, when I have a big tour, I'll promote the tour on here as well. Okay, and it'll be...
Well, TommyInnit.com, guys. Get yourself a ticket in April and May. Here's one last question for you. Well, not one last, but to do with touring.
Yeah.
Why did you agree to do the Dome show where I made you run through the entire crowd to get on stage and then die to a little puppet?
I didn't know what I was doing until I got there.
Well, there you go. There's my answer.
There it is.
I had no idea.
Would you have agreed given you did know?
Yeah, I mean, the first time we met, you asked me to jump off a crane. So.
Oh my days! I forgot we bungee jumped together.
Yeah,
that was the only vlog that I've now. If I stand atop a building and look down, I don't know. Oh my days! You're the only person that can relate to me because we hugged and jumped off a crane together.
We did, yeah.
But now, if I look off a balcony, I'm like, I know what it feels to fall.
Oh God!
I actually think it's like mentally rewired me a bit. That I'm like not afraid of heights, but now I'm like afraid of what it would be like to hit them.
Oh,
you respect heights.
But I literally I know everything except what it feel like to hit the ground.
Yeah.
I really don't like it. Do you have that experience as well?
I'm not a big fan of heights, but...
All right. I'm surprised you did that.
The first time we met in person, within 3 sentences, you'd asked me to do bungee jumping. And I think I said yes, and you looked so shocked. You were like, well, I think you would do it.
I did, because I wasn't even sure if I'd do it. But then I said, do you want to jump off a crane with me? And he went, yeah, all right. And I went, well, that is what I didn't want. Okay.
I wanted a bit more hesitation.
Yeah, you really didn't hesitate. No. So I was almost concerned. I thought,
how come? What really drew you to bungee jumping with Tommy in it?
I've never had the opportunity to do it, so...
If you're going to do it, do it this scrappy 17-year-old. He just walks up fucking hell. Right, Dan.
Okay.
What's it like being a dad?
It is.
No transition,
that's
just asking.
That's my question. It's not a huge question.
In what way?
I imagine it is a huge question. Well, I think it's such a foreign concept to me and him.
Yeah.
And I think I remember when I was a kid, my parents always say all these things like you could never not in I'm saying it quite aggressive. They say it quite caringly. You never understand the feeling of having a child.
But everyone always
one.
talks about them first few like years where the kid's just like an arsehole and all loud and that.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. It's more just like the challenge of it. Like, it is a challenge. Like, you can prepare as much as you like. You're not going to be prepared for it. You're just not.
So what was that like?
No one knows what they're doing. Like, I feel like everyone thinks everyone else knows what they're doing when it comes to parenting, but no one does. Like, no one knows. Everyone's just winging it.
So was it like, what's it like then?
It's hard. Like, it's the hardest thing I've ever done.
How is it challenging?
But it's so rewarding. Like, the first year or so is obviously your lack of sleep, which sounds, it's easy to say, but the lack of sleep is...
I'm terrible when I don't sleep properly. I think it'd be debilitating.
Yeah, it really is. It feels like, oh God, it's awful.
Really?
Like, the lack of sleep is terrible, yeah.
And then, when does it get good?
When they start sleeping. I think all of it is good, but then you have like so many different challenges. Like, as they get older as well, you'll solve certain challenges or overcome certain challenges, but then there's new ones.
Well, yeah, as they develop, you sort of get presented new things you're not prepared for.
Yeah, and you're always aware that this is like a human. Like, you have to be so careful, I think.
Yeah.
Have there been any that have been any particularly challenging problems you can chat about? Because I can't remember, I came home once to my mum and went up to her and she had like all her mates round and I had a friend round and I was like, Mum, I heard this at school today. What does cunt mean? And she had to like explain that you can't say it. And I was like, why? And I remember that being, she always reflects
likely
on that.
Challenging. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I have that challenge coming up, but
yeah, have they swore yet? Have you caught them?
No, they haven't. No, we're super careful with.
Do they know that
don't show them this,
like
then,
a YouTuber?
Yeah. Well, because I mean, I guess that's one of the challenges. Like, random people come up to me in the street. That's what you tell kids, like stranger danger.
Right. Yeah.
That doesn't quite apply, or it does apply, but at the same time, random people that we don't know come up to me and ask for a picture.
Yeah.
So there has been like a learning process for him to be like, oh, it's just normal for him.
Yeah.
Like, that's just his life. That's just part of his life, which is
yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
And do they like understand that? Yeah, I don't know how because I bet if you were doing like a show, it would be quite a visual thing of, well, there's 1,000 people watching my dad. Yeah. I can see that.
And like, as he's older, like now he's almost 5, he just understands everything way more.
Is he on the internet?
Yeah, I was about to say, does he have like internet access?
Are you quite strict about that?
Well, he watches like YouTube, but we watch it with him, so we don't just like give him free reign on.
You know, are they watching like Skibidi Toilet? Is that like
no
way. You make them
I was about to. No, I wanted to. This was something I was really curious about. I'm like, because you probably have seen like the weird brain rot Gen Alpha stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, but have you?
Because they're Gen Alpha, aren't they, your lads?
I don't even know what that means.
Like, we're Gen Z, and then that's the one after us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they are.
They will be.
Would you let them become YouTubers if they wanted to be?
Yeah, I guess. I can't say no, can I?
You can't when they're old enough, but I mean,
yeah, when they're old enough.
You know, some people like, because like you can, like, as of terms of service, post on YouTube as of being 13.
Yeah.
But like, would you, obviously it's a while off, but like, do you think you would be comfortable with like a 13-year-old Asher making YouTube videos?
I think it probably depends a lot on him.
Sure.
Because the internet is just awful a lot of the time. Like, I think you have to learn to have such a thick skin on the internet that if, like, I don't think a 13-year-old is, I don't think any 13-year-old is prepared for that.
He's probably thick-skinned enough.
Yeah. I don't think I was as a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I fucking am now. It's like, it's mad.
Yeah.
No, you're quite pathetic. Very thin skin.
Yeah, I really do, yeah. So don't insult me, Dan, because I won't like it. It's your question now, Jack.
Oh, is it? I haven't even looked at this in a while. The conversation was just so damn free-flowing.
It was pretty. It was just
it's been lovely. No, God, I haven't even found it. Oh, this is it. I was very intrigued because obviously, as we were on about earlier, you had like 2 videos a day.
Yeah.
Going on tour alongside that, all this stuff, and sort of you, as of like now, that isn't the case. You've dialed it in a bit.
Yeah.
Right. Did you find that process hard? I know that's probably a very easy question to answer, but like, I can imagine it was necessary with having kids.
Yeah.
And stuff.
It was kind of like a point where I didn't want to stop doing it because I love doing it, and that's just what that's all I know how to do, really. Because I've done it for so long. That's what I really did. But there is the transition was really hard because I think in this space, you can fall off quite quickly.
Sure.
So you can grow really fast, but it's maintaining that's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And if you then slow down, you run the risk of disappearing, I guess.
But, and this is me talking from my perspective on you, and I suppose this is probably not how it feels to you, but like, you've got a house with a playroom, Dan. It sounds to me like you can afford to fall off.
Yeah, that's what I mean, but
no, I think it's still reasonable.
You still don't
to, like,
want to, though.
No one wants to, but
No.
I'm like, and this is probably maybe again a silly question, but like, why? And the same goes for you, because I think you're in a position as well.
Yeah.
That is a good question, because
Like, what makes you scared of it? Because it doesn't feel like you're reliant on it anymore.
No, I'm not.
This is sort of a question like linked to that. Like to us, and to, I imagine everyone watching, like you're like fucking DanTDM. Like, do you? But to me, like, do you feel like you're DanTDM, or is it just like? Because for me, it all just feels
weird.
normal.
Like, there's also it's sometimes what's that imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
Like I feel that quite heavy. Like especially when you do things like the hospital visits, stuff like that.
Right.
Make a wish, like all of that. I'm just like, but it's just me.
Yeah. So how significant you can be to others?
Yeah.
When you just feel like you're just like doing your thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
When you're just being yourself. Like it's
I suppose looping back around
weird.
to the other point, I suppose that's a reason to be attached to like not falling off, isn't it? Because that is so fulfilling.
Yeah, it is really fulfilling.
And have you? Has that been a big sort of challenge over the years? The sort of imposter syndrome. I know it has for me and Jack, at least.
Yeah, it's really hard to explain, but it almost feels like you're two people. Like obviously, you are like Tom and TommyInnit, but then I'm Dan and DanTDM. Like they are the same person.
It's the persona, and then the
but it's not like you're like faking it or acting at all. It's just it's you. So it is weird when people are like, the most common thing I get told now is like, you're my childhood, like thanks for raising me kind of thing. And that's just crazy to me. Like I was making videos.
Like for you were just sat in your room with fireworks going off outside making
exactly. Yeah, it's like it's a big deal to them as well. Like some of the messages I get, like they don't come from like happy families or whatever, and that was like their escape. Or even things like they learn to speak English from my videos. Like, loads of crazy stuff like that when I was just having fun and enjoying making videos. But then you realize it is actually this bigger thing.
Because like, you know, as I've gotten older, I have people saying like, you got me through COVID. And I'm like, I was literally like just playing
Just trying to get through it yourself.
Exactly.
I was just like hanging out, like sat in a call with Tubbo playing Minecraft. Like, I didn't mean to.
No,
do you know what I mean? That's how
sometimes you don't realize the larger impact of it.
Yeah, I think it's important to bear that in mind, because I think I'm trying to think like what I'm trying to say here. Like it's very easy to sort of like do it purely for like self-driven reasons.
Yeah.
And I think the way to keep it, I don't know, like keep ego out of it is to like remember that it's important to like this isn't about me.
Yeah.
Like or it like it, I mean it is about
a
you
large
to a degree.
part of it.
But a large part of it is
it's
about
important, isn't it?
what it is for the people. It's important. Yeah. It's like it's not just something I do. It's like genuinely meaningful to a lot of people.
Yeah, you know, like part of that made me continue doing the long stint of videos and not missing them, and like uploading an apology if I didn't get a video up in a day, was thinking about those people. I'm like, if I don't upload that video for the day, they don't have that escape for the day. Like when I used to do like the hospital visits and make-a-wishes and stuff like that, I think, they
have you done a lot of those?
The make-a-wishes?
Yeah.
I think I've done like 100.
What? That's a lot.
Yeah, we've done quite a lot.
Wow.
Well, at the peak, we were like second most wished for person.
I was about to say,
who was
sounds
beating
like
you?
it.
Yes.
I know who it is. I know this stat. Yeah, it's a pretty well known stat.
In the UK. In the UK.
I don't know in the UK.
Who would I wish for more than you?
In the UK, as a kid.
Mr. Tumble.
It's Mr. Tumble.
Actually? Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah. It was Mr. Tumble.
Yeah. No, I know the biggest worldwide wish maker is John Cena.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Really?
He has done like some silly number.
Yeah.
I forget what it is, but it's ridiculous how many he does.
Well, that's very affirming to hear from you, Dan, that even you struggle with fucking imposter syndrome and that.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
all
something
the
we've
time.
talked about
I'm
in the
just like,
podcast.
Yes, it's weird. I can't even describe it apart from that it's weird. Like,
It's just
unless you're in
that
the
feeling
situation.
of doubt and, you know, like...
Unless you're in that situation, I don't think anyone will understand it, and it's really hard to explain to someone what it feels
I
like.
think, because we are just people.
Yeah.
And you feel in your heart that you're just a person. I think it's difficult to comprehend this, like, this meaningful idea that other people have of you because like, well, I'm just a fella.
Yeah.
And equally, I think that's also why so many people worry about like, if I don't do this, people will forget about me, because like, I think you forget like the impact you've had on them is more than being just a person. Like, you know, I mean, I'm a 22-year-old fella, but like, I watched you when I was like 9. And like, that's still like meaningful to me. Like, I might not sit down and watch a DanTDM video every night anymore, but like, you know, you're still DanTDM, and that's still what I mean, like, that impact lasts even if...
Definitely when you're in the height of the internet, it only feels like yesterday and tomorrow. You don't think about the years of, you know...
You don't think about what, like, people aren't not like just enjoying this now. They're going to look back on this and be like, that person made such a big impact then.
Yeah.
Because even now, I think, you know, we've only been doing this for like 5-ish years. But even now, we get people like, you were so important to me during COVID. Like, even they don't even watch us anymore. But like, the impact what we had then,
it lasts for so long.
It's so significant to people.
Yeah,
it's mad.
It is mad. I think that's why like my videos don't get as many views as like my peak, but like my social media is still really popular because people don't necessarily watch the videos anymore.
But they care about you.
I'm growing like new audience still, but they still care about me because of the impact.
And you were there at such a important time.
Yeah,
properly did your part, man.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
And
crazy.
This is like leads on to a question I had. When you get recognized in the street, would you say like if you were to like average it out, are they mostly people that like nostalgia recognize like I grew up with you, or is it to this day still like kids?
So now it's like teenagers. So I get spotted way more now than I used to because when I was doing like the tours and stuff, it was mainly kids and they won't really come up to you. So they'll be like, oh,
okay, that's a good point.
Because they just don't have the confidence, or they tell their mum and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or that's not him. But now it's teenagers, they have the the courage to come up to you. And so I get spotted more now than I used to.
Than you ever have.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Or it's like people that have jobs, like they're working in coffee shops. They're like, oh wait, are you DanTDM? I was like, yeah, that's me.
That's so cool.
Or I usually get, oh, you look like DanTDM. Have you ever been told that? I was like, well,
you go, well.
Yeah,
do you ever go, yeah, but I've been told that, and then walk away?
No, I haven't had the courage to do that.
I got that in a shop the other day.
What?
Oh, someone started. They looked at me really funny. And there's a look to when someone recognizes you, right? There's a look in their face.
Yeah, I always know when someone's going to
you know when someone's going to say it.
And then sometimes they're on their phone because they're Googling your face.
It's always the phone. Yeah,
always.
The amount of times I've been on transport.
I always think they're texting their friends.
No, they're always Googling you.
Oh my God.
Do you know the amount of times I've like heard my YouTube channel, my last posted video, like on a bus?
Oh God.
I've looked so many times.
Mate, no, I've always assumed they're like, oh my God, guess who I've just spotted? Because I think that'd be my first instinct.
That'd be after, I think.
The weirdest one I ever had is a video I just posted. I heard someone play, like the first minute of, and then click off, but like sat like there on the train facing that way, and they didn't spot me.
Oh, that's funny.
I just heard my video.
Cool.
That was weird.
But yeah, no, I was in the shop, and this girl, she gave me the look, and she went, have you ever been told you look like? And I'm like, oh, here it comes. And then she went, Joey Essex. I was like, yeah, I've heard that once or twice.
I once had a group of teenagers come up to me and go, can you take a photo with us? And I went, yeah, sure. Went to do this everything. They went, no, a photo of us. And I was like,
oh no.
Yeah, no, yeah, sure. Yeah, here you go. And then,
Too famous.
That is, they probably thought you were really
That was in 2021
weird.
as well. That was that was like
the peak of it.
Yeah. Right, well, look.
That's the hour. But do we have more to talk about?
Oh.
You know, there's one thing that it's on all our minds, and we talk about it. We're gonna chat a little bit about lunchly.
It's lunchly.
A little bit, it's lunchly, yeah. And
all that palaver.
Yeah, and a bit more about Dan. Trioris, Grim, we're learning about all of them. So if you want to watch more, head over to Patreon.
The link is in the description. That's patreon.com/shutupI'mtalking.
$7, that's all it takes.
We do a little noise down that links them up.
Okay, what's
it's
the
really
noise?
what we do it with is we go or something like that.
All right.
And then when they press play on the Patreon, it's just the rest of the noise. So in theory, you could edit them together and it would make this beautiful
one big long episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, right, 3, 2, 1.